Number 2. Visitorial and enforcement powers. Question. What are the scope of the visitorial and enforcement power of the Secretary of Labor and Employment? Answer. These two complementary powers to administer and to enforce the law are conferred by the Labor Code of the Philippines, as amended, on the Secretary of Labor and Employment or his duly authorized representatives, namely, the Department of Labor and Employment Regional Directors, as follows. A. The visitorial power grants to said Department of Labor and Employment officials, including labor and employment officers, access to employers' records and premises at any time of the day or night whenever work is being undertaken therein, and the right to copy therefrom such records. To question any employee and investigate any fact, condition or matter which may be necessary to determine violations or which may aid in the enforcement of the Labor Code and of any labor law, wage order or rules and regulations issued pursuant thereto, and to investigate matters to determine whether there are violations of Labor Code. B. The enforcement power. To issue compliance orders to give effect to the labor standards provisions of the Labor Code and other labor legislation based on the findings of labor and employment officers or industrial safety engineers made in the course of inspection, and to issue writs of execution to the appropriate authority for the enforcement of their orders, except in cases where the employer contests the findings of the labor and employment officers and raises issues supported by documentary proofs which were not considered in the course of inspection.